I applied for an NEH Summer stipend grant. There are actually 3 different steps. First, there's an internal grant process because each university can only present 2 people. So in August, when everybody is away, we send in a proposal to the Center for the Humanities, and some colleagues read and decide who are going to be the 2 people who are going to be Loyola representatives. After that, then we prepare our proposals in the format we're supposed to do and submit it to the Office of Outside Grant Information, and they read it through and make suggestions and so on. And then we submit it online, I think it was in October or September, I'm not sure when, it was October, and then we wait. It's very unusual here at Loyola and very nice. My friends are very envious. The ones who get selected, the 2 people, actually receive the money even if they don't get the grant, because the grant is very difficult to get. I actually looked up the figures before coming to talk to you because I thought you might ask this. And on the website they say that in the past few years they have about 860 people apply on the average, and only 70-some people get them. So it's about 9% rate of getting a grant. So that's kind of discouraging for a lot of people. But by applying through the Center for the Humanities and being the candidate for Loyola, that means that we have a backup plan, basically. We do have to submit a proposal for the summer grant as well, so that we try to get that funding, so it's not all Center for the Humanities monies. But still, it's a very nice plan. I was invited to write a chapter for a book about Charlemagne in Italy. And it's literary, how he's presented in literature. And a specific author, Andrea da Barberino, who was at the end of the 14th and beginning of the 15th century. And it's really kind of interesting because it's in prose, and everything before that was in poetry. And we know who he is, which we don't know who wrote the poems that came before, or some of them that came after for that matter. And looking at how he treats the material that he inherited and how it was viewed by others around, whether they appreciated it or not, but particularly how he presents Charlemagne as an ideal sort of king, but a distant king, because they didn't want him at their front door. About 8 to 10 weeks over the summer. I've already done some of the preliminary work, which again is a benefit of applying for this grant because you do sort of some of the initial legwork. And so I will be rereading some things that I've read before. I translated and wrote about some of the earlier works that Andrea works with. So I need to go back and reread some of those, but also I need to catch up because that was in 2009. So I have to see what's come out since then. And they're also, it's close reading. So I need to go back and reread carefully the portions about Charlemagne. And part of this, as I say, was something I worked on before, the earlier part. And the people who asked me to do this are people who work in my field or related fields. And they are doing a major volume about Charlemagne. That started in 2000, which was the anniversary of his crowning in 800. And so it is related to something I've done before, but also moves forward chronologically. And I think it also is a good showpiece for the type of work that we do and for Loyola as being a contributor to the intellectual discourse. Well, I think the Center for the Humanities is a wonderful institution to help the humanities here at Loyola. It's really, by having people do these sorts of grants, it also prepares them for other grants. Because learning how to write these proposals and being read by your colleagues, not necessarily in the same department or the same area, and ask you questions and help you hone your skills, prepares you to write more competitive grants. Sort of like if you're a runner, you know, you need to run competitively with the big boys in order to get to be better.